Hello everyone, welcome back to Film Scene 21. My name's Simon. You can't see me because we're doing something a little bit different here today. We're doing a unboxing. The machine that I often refer to, that I use to watch Blu-rays etc. is the Panasonic DPU B820. My previous machine had a few issues with it, so it went back to the repairers. It couldn't be repaired, so we've just been given a refund on that. That was from John Lewis, and I've decided to repurchase it. That's because it's still the best machine on the market from what I understand, certainly within this budget range around the sort of the £300 mark. So went for it again, which is fine because it has got some fantastic features on it, and it's a joy to use when it's working. So this time though, we got it from a company in the UK called Richer Sounds. They did it for the same price as John Lewis currently, which is $299. John Lewis was doing it with a 2-year guarantee, whereas Richer Sounds have a 6-year supercare that you can purchase for 10%, so it's £29 odd. And if you don't use it after the 6 years at all, if you don't have any issues, then you just get that refunded anyway. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. It's a good deal for a 6-year cover. It's just under £30. I just thought I'd do an unboxing just so you could see the sort of machine that I'm using, in case anyone was thinking about what machine to buy, in case you thought this might be the machine for you, and to see what you get in the box. So it comes in this box here. It's got all the features and functions on the outside, what you have inside. Obviously it's 4K HDR. Plays Ultra HD Blu-ray. It's got HDR and obviously 10 plus it mentions here, which is the active metadata version of HDR, and also Dolby Vision, which is the other version of it. So it's got all the different features in there that you need to deal with sort of your HDR, the high dynamic range type material that you have on 4K Blu-rays usually. And also this will deal with HLG, hybrid lock gamma on the sort of the streaming apps etc. And you have pretty much most of the streaming apps in here: Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and for us in the UK you've got BBC iPlayer. There's a couple of missing that we have in the UK, like 4 on demand and 5 on demand as well. But it covers the main bases, and it doesn't have Now TV either, which is another omission. But luckily I've got a TV which covers off all those, so we're all good to go with that. So it's just, I've already unsealed it, so we can just crack this open now. And as you can see, it's protected the inside with these polystyrene casings. Just on top there's the instruction leaflet sealed in there with some guarantee information and what have you, so we don't need to get that. It's a very basic, as you can see, it's super thin. So it won't tell you an awful lot, but it just gets you up and running, and there's a more detailed how-to guide online, and they give you a link to that. So we'll put that to one side, just go to the right, and as you can see we've got the remote control. We just drop that out of the little packet you get here, and it's a fairly standard remote. It's got your number pad on it, what have you, and all the features and functions you need. It's got a dedicated Netflix button, which is either a godsend or extremely annoying, because if you've ever got one of these machines and you need to press in the up and you're not concentrating, you end up pressing Netflix and you come out of playing the Blu-ray or whatever you're looking at, and it takes you all the way to Netflix and you have to wait for it to load and come back. But you know, it's nice to have it on there if you use Netflix an awful lot. So there we go, it's a fairly standard remote. Battery compartment at the back. It does come with some batteries in the pack. I'll just put the remote down for a minute. We'll get this pack out the side if we can before we look at the main unit. It's a little bit wedged in there. This is actually a packet with the AC adapter for the plug, and there are the 2 batteries in there, so you can put that in as well. It doesn't come with any other cables, I don't believe, so you need to supply your own HDMI cable, which is often a better bet. Quality cable that you can buy anyway. And let's get the machine out of the main unit. So if we pull that out, then let's take the box out of the table there. I'll just set up in my living room here. I'll get this unwrapped. I haven't unwrapped it yet, so I'm hoping it's all in good order. And there we are, there's the machine itself. I'll lift that up, pull that away. So as we can see, it's got the Ultra HD Blu-ray logo there. On the top you have 2 buttons, and no, 2 buttons only, an open and close button here, and then a power button here. On the front of the machine, it's very sleek looking, I must say. Just trying to get that in shot for you. It's just got the Panasonic logo to the left, and then nothing at all until you get to the right, and it has the model number there. And what this actually is, it's a little drop down flap, so when you do eject the machine, that will drop down and the disc will come out of that unit here. It does have a display which is also visible when you've got the flap up, so which is really useful to know where you are in the menus, or where you are in the Blu-ray you're playing. And right down here it's also got a USB input, which can be very useful for sort of any drives or USB keys that you might have put films on, or photos that you want to look at, or music you want to play. So that's quite useful as well. Okay, sides are pretty basic. Just got some screws in that side and that side to keep the casing together. And at the back there are quite a number of inputs, not like, you know, hundreds, but enough to keep you going. You've got the power input there. That's obviously the air output for the fan. You've got two HDMI inputs here, or I say outputs more to the point. One is just audio and one is video and audio. So if you've got a dedicated AV receiver or amp, you can actually use this one to send sound to that, which I often do, so you can have dedicated video and audio, so that's quite useful. Here we have the Ethernet connection at the bottom for your streaming services, etc., and another USB socket above that as well, so you can plug in a hard disk drive if you need to. Then we have some speaker inputs if you want to use dedicated, the old component inputs there. You can use those, the sort of the red and the whites, for all five speakers. And you have an optical input as well if you're going that way for your digital out. So it's very useful. I don't tend to use any of these at the moment. I'm just using the split HDMI to my receiver, which I find really useful. So that's basically it. Just a quick look on the base if you need to see that. Pretty simple. So it's looking all good. So there we go. That is the Panasonic DP UB820, and looking forward to getting back to using it again, because I've been without it for a while. Happy days. Okay, so I mean, if you're interested in this, please let me know. Also, I'll be looking forward to doing some more reviews soon. If you've got any comments or questions, please put those down below. I'll be happy to help you with that. And you can also touch base with me on Instagram and Twitter. This is Simon, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Film Scene 21. Bye bye for now.